Stacy Cryer. I'm the Community Health Services Branch Director for Health and Human Services. Thank you, Chairman Wattenberger and the board for taking this opportunity to request this from you. We're asking approval of the Mendocino County Public Health Advisory Board's recommendations for Round 7 tobacco settlement funded grants. The grants go for 1 year. They began January 1, 2009. This year for this grant process, we had $95,400 to give out. We had 38 applicants total and 10 grants were awarded, which you have a list of in your packet. I would like to quickly introduce Cassandra Thatcher from Community Health Services to talk quickly about the process and the awards that were given out.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Cassandra Thatcher with Community Health Services. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I just wanted to give a general idea of our process with these tobacco settlement grants. In mid-August, we sent a press release out inviting the public to apply for funds. And many nonprofits and community organizations who do good work for the community applied. We had 38 applications, as Stacy mentioned earlier. We were able to form a grant review committee that consisted of 6 people, 2 members from the Tobacco Settlement Oversight Committee and 4 members of the public, all of which represented all 5 districts of the county. They read all 38 grant applications and met to score them, and they chose their top 10 based on overall benefit to the community, district diversity, and how they demonstrated how they addressed at least one of the 4 priority areas of the public health strategic plan. Those priority areas being access to health care, aging and the elderly, alcohol and other drugs, and healthy lifestyles. And I thank you for your time and appreciate your consideration with these recommendations. Do you have any questions?
Questions of the board? Pretty straightforward presentation. No questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Sure.
Not about these grants, but some of this tobacco settlement monies, the tobacco companies are guys kind of push back in the courts a little bit. Is there any indication is this going to go on, or are the courts going to win, are the tobacco companies going to win previous concessions back in the courts? Do you feel, is there a future for this program, or is it the money might dry up because it changes court decisions?
I have been in communication with the state, and the money's not dried up, but a small portion of it is being held back in disputed payment fund because they are taking it back to arbitration.
So the money's not being released, so they're thinking they're going to win, right? I guess.
I'm not sure what they're thinking, but they're holding back. They're holding back a small portion.
Small portion. What's 10%, 20%?
Last year we received approximately $950,000, and 2 years ago they forecasted we'd get about $1.1 million.
Supervisor Koufax?
Yeah, if I can just add on to what you've said correctly. There has been the move. Prop 10 monies are out there that they're going after, and the tobacco settlement funds, different pot, has not been has not had the profile that Prop 10 monies. But Prop 10 monies, having also to do with tobacco funds, have been targeted. They're right on the list of let's get our hands on this to help deal with the state budget. The settlement funds have not been a high profile, and let's just keep it that way. Okay. Don't ask any more questions, Jimmy. Is what I'm saying.
And just a statement from the chair, the entire tobacco settlement is envisioned to be reducing throughout time as we go. Anyway, that's the purpose of the whole process. So eventually it will go away. It's just the amount of time that it takes to make it go away. So just point of clarification. Okay, any further questions? Okay, what's the action of the board?
I so move we accept the report.
Second.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to accept the report and distribute the funds as stated.
Just for the record, is that the recommended action on the agenda?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, any discussion to the motion? Hearing and seeing none, call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Another successful round of grants. Thank you. Okay, get my paperwork together here. Let's move to the presentation and update regarding the county's public safety communication microwave system replacement project. To the GSA director.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Kristen McMenemy, your GSA director, and I am very happy to be here before you today to present to you an update on this particular project. Project history, you'll remember a little over a year ago, you went ahead and approved the project and approved some funding toward the project. Alcatel began work on the project in January of '08. We, General Services Agency, got into high gear and applied for all the necessary permits and turned them in February of 2008. The original project completion deadline was October 1st. That was always my estimate of when the project would be completed once we were well in the permit process and we knew the time frames associated with the permits. And the new microwave new live date was yesterday. So we are live as of yesterday.
Woohoo!
Yes. Some of the project challenges were definitely the permitting issues. I'm new to the permitting issues, especially when you're dealing with state and federal agencies, not only those, but with our own permitting issues. So that was pretty interesting. We had a little bit of a delay. We had two of the sites that were in the coastal zone, so they require a whole different procedure, but it was very enlightening to go through all these procedures, and now I definitely appreciate members of the public going through any permitting process. We also received about a month delay due to the smoke from the fires. We had to call back the Alcatel crews from hanging antennas on the towers because, for obvious reasons, smoke inhalation and site visibility, and that job is a very dangerous job to do. Power to the remote sites, particularly in Sunel, getting power to those sites and getting easements signed by property owners, that took several months to do. PG&E finished as of last Thursday getting power to Sunel, and so the crews are out working and getting all the antennas aligned and making sure the south coast antennas are all aligned. So that was pretty great. They did that over this last weekend. We also decided to be ambitious and start the T1 build-out project at the same time as the microwave project. That's going to take a couple more months to do and a couple more months of testing before that ends up being live. Benefits to the new microwave. Obviously, it's the reliability that we've got at this point and the redundancy of the new microwave system and the ring structure that we have. So when one site goes down, traffic is rerouted to a different direction, and we end up not losing a particular site. Not only that, but the maintenance of this is much more easy than it is from the previous microwave system. Both County Information Services staff and our contractor, Fisher Wireless, have been trained. Information Services staff have been trained at least 3 deep on this project to be able to maintain it ourselves. So that's going to come to a savings from next fiscal year as we had that outsourced to an independent contractor. We will also, doing the T1 project, we're going to be able to, the benefits from that are we're going to be having wireless build-outs in Willits, Fort Bragg, Point Arena, and Ukiah, and I'll get to those in just a little bit. Probably the greatest benefit here is going to be the coverage on the south